Hey everybody, I am your host Kelvin Troy Johnson, speaker, trainer, and author. Today, I have a question. What if I told you that you could take your knowledge, take your skills, take your ability, and go from the seat that you're sitting in right now to being on stage, lighting up the auditorium, going after the event is over, and signing books, having a line of people waiting for your signature on their book, smiling faces and cash in hand. They just want one thing. They just want to get connected to you. What if I told you that you could go on and have your very own podcast, your very own radio show, and be heard literally all around the world? Your message, your ideas, your lessons heard all around the world. Would you believe that? What if I told you that you could package up your information, your knowledge, your skills, create products, create video products, digital products, DVDs, audios, and have your very own product line right before you to be sold while you sleep? Would you believe that? What if I told you that you could create your own paid community where people are paying you monthly for your ideas and your skills and your abilities? Well, in the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do just that. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had the challenge of working feeling like you're not really accomplishing anything? Yeah, I know you may have your credentials, you have your degree, you have the essential things that it might take to look successful, but you don't feel successful. Or maybe you're really enjoying your work as a counselor, you're really enjoying your work as a therapist, but there's something more that you'd like to have and do in this business. You feel like, you know what? I could do more. There's more in me to do than what I'm doing. Well, I know that feeling intimately. I know that feeling very well because I felt that myself. I can remember a time when I was doing in-home counseling. I did lots of in-home counseling. And I would do in-home counseling, and so in-home counseling is a little different and a lot more challenging, I think, than seeing someone in an office. Because doing in-home counseling, you get a chance to go to a person's home and see behind the closed doors. Sometimes when they come out to an office, they can kind of put on a dog and pony show for an hour. But when you go to someone's house, there's no dog and pony show. You see them in their raw, real environment and how they interact. And I can remember going into a house, there was a mother there. And the mother, we were there because I was working with the youth and the family. We were doing, family counseling. And went in there, and the mother was really upset. This boy won't listen. He comes in all times of the night, and he was caught stealing, and he just came home from juvenile hall and all of this and that. And she says, and I can't stand this boy. She says, as a matter of fact, I hate him. Now, as you can imagine, we're all professionals. And so we keep our good, strong face on and oh, okay, no problem. Oh, kind of that face like she really didn't say anything major. But inside you're saying to yourself, who could say that you hate your son? Well, the lady went on and she says, I don't know why, but I just hate this boy. She said, no, I don't just dislike him. I hate him. She says, every time I look at his face, he just turns my stomach, and I wish he would just get out. And the boy would happen to be around 15 or 16 at the time. And so the boy, he didn't know, he wasn't that innocent either. He was kind of a street kid. And he said, well, listen, if she doesn't want me here, I don't have to be here. I'll just run away. I said, no, let's not run away. So through the session, we're in the session. The session happens to be in one of the worst projects in the city. And we began this session about 6 o'clock in the wintertime. Now, if you know, and we're on the East Coast, so 6 o'clock in the evening in the wintertime means it's already dark. So we go in, we do this session, work with the family, and come out, and the lights are off for whatever reason. The lights are off, and I'm walking through the projects all by myself in the pitch black. Now, to go back to the story, what we discovered is that the boy happened to look exactly like his father. Now, his father was extremely abusive. His father beat his mother. His father was terrible to him and terrible to the mother. But the boy grew up to look exactly like his father. And every time the mother saw the boy's face, all she saw was the father. And so this was quite an experience we had, and getting her to kind of understand that he's not his father, and she shouldn't treat him as if he was his father. And so we had a great session, but it came time to leave. Walk outside. It's pitch black. At that time, it was probably about 9:30 at night, and they lived deep in the heart of the projects. Walking through, and I can remember having a feeling like, you know what? I just changed the world for some family out there. Now, of course, they have to do the work, and it's up to them. But my presence in that home, my presence in that family's life may have done a shift in their thinking, in their life, in their family life, that never would have occurred. And you have no idea. I have no idea what may happen after I leave, and what may happen in that young man and in his family, because I was there. Wonderful feeling. But then there was this other feeling. And that other feeling was, this is dangerous. This is wonderful, but I wonder if there's something else that I could do. I wonder if there's anything else other than this. I mean, I love seeing clients. I love, imparting this. I love having this life-changing experience with people. But is there something else? I'd love to be able to do this and pay bills at the same time. I'd love to not have to have two jobs with the thought of getting a third. I'd love to be able to live a real life and be a contributor to society at the same time. So I went on and did some work at a homeless shelter. I went on to do work with a homeless shelter, and while I was there, it was a great experience. I poured my heart out. I got in there, and there were lots of opportunities for me to get up and to speak to the men. I was one of the men's counselors, and it was my job to do work readiness program with them and teaching them to get ready for work and get ready for life. It was more of a life readiness program, but it was a work readiness program, and I found myself in front of a group of men, and I found myself instructing the men. I found myself teaching the men. I found myself encouraging the men. They were responding, going out, getting jobs, getting back on their feet. And someone called me. They said, "We heard you speaking to the men. We heard your teaching. We heard your enthusiasm. And we'd like you to come and speak to our group." It was a group of older people, seniors. And, they wanted a speaker to come in, and they said, "We heard you speak, and we'd like you to come in." So they heard me speak. I said, "Sure, I'd like to take this message out and talk to some other people." So I did that. I went out, talked to a group of people. They had one of those middle of the day luncheons, I can remember. And I got in and I told them a few stories of what we went through. I told them about my very first day as a men's counselor at a homeless shelter. They got a big kick out of that. And I told them a few lessons that we all could learn from the homeless and from the homeless population, and how we could better our lives as a result of that. Well, they loved it, and they were really excited and happy that I was there. They thanked me and thanked me. Thank you for coming. That was awesome. We really appreciate it. And when I heard that, something went off in my head, kind of like an alarm. Something went off in my head, said, I wonder if other people would like that. So I got a few more calls. I went back. I was still, talking and teaching at the homeless shelter. But then I said, maybe I can make something out of this. So my church, they had a position open for someone to talk to some of the people who were, as a matter of fact, they had a homeless program. They would feed the homeless in the morning before church. And they wanted, they already had a community center there. And so they wanted someone to talk to the people, while the people were eating breakfast. They needed someone to come in and just kind of, I guess in some ways it started off as just something to just keep the people occupied, because after they're regular people, after they finish eating, then they'll be walking down the street, they'll be here, they'll be there, but they just needed someone to kind of have a reason and a way to keep the people there until service started. So they said, do we have anybody who wants to do this job, to come and speak to the homeless people and help them out? Hey, I'll do it. That's me. I love to speak. I love helping people. Let's do it. So I got in there, and it was supposed to be a short-term program that actually lasted 3 years. So for 3 years, every Sunday, I was teaching life skills. I was teaching personal development. I was encouraging people. The people would go away. People would just enjoy it. I can remember one man who would come every Sunday, and I gave an assignment to the group. So I told the group, I said, make a decision to do something that you should do and take action on it in the next 7 days. That was the assignment. So I had that man, a man was in the group. He was coming every Sunday, and the man looked at me and said, when we got back the next Sunday, he said, okay, I took your advice. And he said, I called my daughter. And I said, wow, that's pretty good. That's a nice idea. He said, no, you don't understand. I haven't spoken to my daughter in 13 years. I haven't communicated with my family in 13 years. He said, I called them. He said, I took what you said and I made a decision. And I picked up the phone and called my family. He said, as soon as they heard his voice, they screamed. The family just screamed over the phone. They were jumping up and down because they thought he was dead. He said they thought I was dead. They thought, I had gotten killed or run over or something. He said it was like they felt like they were talking to a ghost because they had just assumed that he was gone, because they hadn't heard from him in so many years. And so, that really encouraged me. He says, you know what? And I did it because you told me to. He said, because of this class, I connected back with my daughters. And, later on, the man told me that he and his daughters, they met up. He went and stayed with them for the weekend and ended up getting an apartment near his family, and they were able to reunite for the first time in many, many years. So, that's one of the lessons that I've learned through this is that you have no idea what will happen when you step out and take your message to the world. So I really was encouraged by that. So I began to do more of those things. I got more speaking opportunities, and I thought to myself, you know what? I love this motivational stuff. I was listening to Les Brown and Brian Tracy and all of these guys, and I said, man, I love to do that. I wonder how I get started. Jack Canfield and all these guys. And I read this book that says, find a job where you're going to speak. And I found another book that says, that told me to get my voice out to the world as much as possible. So, thought about it, said, man, okay, let's see. What do motivational speakers do? I read up one and I said, I like this idea. I'm going to be a motivational speaker. So I began to do the speaking, and I thought, I read one of the things I read said that, you know, all the motivational speakers that I looked up, they all had radio shows. And I thought, hey, I could get a radio show. Why not? So I got a radio show. I got on the radio. That led to another radio show, which led to more speaking engagements, which led to becoming an author, which led to me having my own platform, which led to seminars and workshops and everything else that came after that, which led to money and satisfaction. And I'm telling you, you have no idea what can happen once you step out and get your voice on the radio and become a speaker and an author and all of those things. I've been invited to places that I never thought I would go and had opportunities that I never thought I would have because I stepped out. Now, let's talk a little bit about what I've discovered as a result of stepping out. Now, let's talk a little bit about the old world versus the new world. In the old world, you had to have a PhD to become an author. You had to have 2 or 3 PhDs to become a speaker and someone would listen to. You know, in the old world, you had to have some long, lengthy time in the business, you know, long gray beard in order to be a person who could be on the radio and have your own platform. In the new world, people just want help. Listen, people don't care about your titles. They don't care about your length of your length of being even in the business. They don't care about how your credentials so much. I'm not saying don't have credentials, but I'm telling you that the market of today is not that concerned about how many PhDs you have. In the market of today, they are interested in one thing. How can you help me? See, that's one of the reasons why I decided to do and to create this whole forum, this Counselor Success system, because there are so many people who they would think that this is for the PhD people. They would think that this is for the person, the psychiatrist or the psychologist. They would think this is for someone else. But the Counselor Success, the whole business, is for every kind of counselor. I often make this joke that there's a woman working down at the social services office who's been working there for 25, 30 years, and they are more knowledgeable than some of the people who have PhDs. Why? Because they've sat in front of people who are hurting, people who are confused, people who are sad, people who are depressed, people who did not know what to do, and they were able to connect them with resources. They were able to tell them what to do. They were able to heal hearts. And I tell you what, there's nothing like having someone who can speak to your situation from their knowledge and their experience of years of being in the business. There's nothing like that. So what do we have? We decided to put together something that's going to help the counselor down at the social services, maybe the person who doesn't even have a degree, but they find themselves in a counseling position, all the way up to the person who has advanced degrees, maybe working at a university or in private practice. We have created the Counselor's Success Academy. Now, in the Counselor Success Academy is a step-by-step formula. We have videos, we have audios, and we have PDFs that are going to be step-by-step teaching you the very fundamentals and advanced steps on creating your own online presence, setting up your Facebook, your Twitter, your LinkedIn groups, because this is all about you creating your own brand. The Counselor Success System and the Counselor Success Academy It's all about you creating a brand for you that will touch the lives of many. So in the academy, here's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to become an author and how to make money as an author. You're going to learn how to create and sell your own ebooks. You're going to learn how counselors and social workers can become speakers and get speaking jobs. How to create and market your own products. How to build a counselpreneur's empire. You're going to learn the blueprint for success with social media marketing. You're going to learn how counselors and case managers and social workers can create a radio and podcast of their own. You're going to learn how to host your own workshops and seminars and how to make money from them. You're going to learn how to increase your business in your private practice. You're even going to learn how to pass the LCSW, LMSW exam. You're going to learn how to become a motivational speaker. You're going to learn everything there is to know about advancing in this market and getting going with your business. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes that people make who hear this message and are in this market, but things don't pan out for them. Now, let's talk about some do's and don'ts when it comes to building your own brand and building your own empire as a counselpreneur. Now let's talk about some common mistakes when it comes to this business and building your own brand. One common mistake is putting it off. We all understand and have heard that phrase, procrastination is the thief of time. Most of the people who are listening to this message, you know that you have a message within you. You know that you've got the experience, you've got the knowledge, you've got the skills, but we put it off. Oh, well, maybe I'll wait until next Thursday. I'll wait till next year. You know, I'm retiring soon and I'll have plenty of time. Listen, if you're hearing this message now is the time. Don't put it off. Now is the time to get started building your own platform and building your own business with your skills. Another common mistake that I see is people who write books, who say, yes, I'm a counselpreneur, I'm an author, but they don't have a system for building a real empire. All they have is a book. You have to have a system. You have to have a business. I often say, yes, you have a book, but do you have a business? In the Counselor Success Academy, we have it in there step by step, how you can build your empire, the steps that need to be taken, the services you need to access that are going to help you to build your empire from the ground up. Another common mistake people say is, well, Kelvin, I know I have the skills, I have the knowledge, I have the experience, I have all of those things, but what I don't have is the thousands of dollars it takes to hire somebody like you. Well, we have made this program affordable for everyone. We have 3 basic levels that make this affordable for everyone. We have the basic level, the gold level, and the consulting platinum level. All right. In the gold level, it's going to give you access to all the videos, all the DVDs, all the PDFs, all the audio, everything there, and you'll have enough to get started building your platform. And the cost of that one is just $69 a month. Now, the gold is a more advanced program. If you want to get all the past products and all the future products already included in the membership, this one is for you. If you want to get the gold package, this is for you. You'll get all of the programs that we've launched in the past. All of that. I mean, some of these programs were $497 and $997. But from this point on, you're going to get all of those programs included in your membership for just $97 a month. Your monthly subscription for that is just $97 a month. And the consulting platinum, This is a biggie. This is for the super serious, the people who are really trying to make something happen here. This is the monthly subscription where you get everything that you get in the basic. You get everything that you get in the gold. But on top of that, you get invited to the weekly Platinum Roundtable. In this roundtable, you're going to get access to a weekly call, a weekly mastermind call where you'll get inside information as to how you can advance your empire and build your platform and make this all work for you. You'll be able to send in questions and you'll be able to listen in on what other people are doing and connect on what they're doing and have this private group that you can connect with every single week on a private call. Every week, you're going to get information that's going to help. So every week, you'll be able to be in. I'm going to select someone's situation, someone's ideas, and we're going to break down for you exactly what I would do if I were in that business and I would help them build their business. So it's kind of like that hot seat concept. Well, every week we'll have someone's business in the hot seat. They'll submit their entry, and then we will take it apart and talk about what they could do to add and to build their business and to make it successful. And you only get this, you only get to be in on this call if you are part of the Consulting Platinum membership. That membership is $149 a month, just $149 a month. Now, this is all a very inexpensive venture. You all know that if you went to the university and signed up for classes at a university, you would be talking about thousands and thousands of dollars. But I can assure you that there's no university like this in the world that is going to teach you how to become a motivational speaker. There's no academy in the world that's going to have you get instruction from people who have done it, speakers and people who create products, people who are online and have built successful businesses online. You're going to learn all of that through the academy. So here's what you need to do. Go to CounselorSuccessAcademy.com and register. Click the link, and it's going to take you to the page where you can just go ahead and sign up. And then you're going to get instant access to the academy. It's literally that simple. You sign up, you pay, you're in. It's that simple. I'm telling you, I've been where you are. I understand what you're going through, and I understand that if anything is going to change for us, we have to change it ourselves. There are people who are talking online about, social workers should get more respect. They're talking online about we should create more legislation. We should push the lawmakers to raise our salaries. We should do this and that. Listen, maybe those things are true. Maybe we should do those things. However, for me and for the person who would listen to this show, you understand that there is no time for that. We need to make something happen for ourselves right now. We don't have time to wait for legislation to change because that may take too long. I'll have to get 3 jobs by then. No, I want you to take what you have, take what you know, take what you've experienced, take what you've learned, take what you've heard, and package it up and take your message to the world. I can't wait to work with you guys. And as you guys always hear me say, great success comes not by hocus pocus, but by focus. Join the academy today, CounselorSuccessAcademy.com. See you there.